coming up. And I'm just curious, what was the process like to get this on TV and to select the fights, and how much input did you actually have in this?
Well, I didn't have no input. I don't know what's going on. No, I'm kidding. Um, you know, I've always been a fan of El Rey. I've always watched it for for personal reasons. First of all, I'm a huge fan of his work. And just the content they have on the channel is it's awesome. It's like it's almost like geared towards the Latino demographic or the age demographic. And I enjoy it actually. So I thought to myself, I told my chief business officer, I told him, it would be great because we have a lot in common. We do a lot of things for our culture, and it would be great if El Rey, because El Rey is like the king, and I always felt that I was the king of boxing when I was fighting, and so I always thought, I told my chief business officer, why don't we get a hold of them and pitch this idea of showcasing the best Hispanic fights in the last 20-25 years that we've been promoting. And sure enough, it worked. I mean, this was a negotiation that happened fairly quickly because we had the same vision. And so yeah, I'm super excited that it's going to take off this weekend on Friday, May 4th, around the Cinco de Mayo festivities. So yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait to watch these great classic fights.
Me too, because I wasn't around when some of those were going on. I mean, wasn't in the sport yet, so I'll be watching them for the first time, and I think a lot of people might be watching them for the first time. And there's quite a few fights, including one of your own. Is there one in particular that you feel like fans really need to tune into that particular fight?
Oh my God, I mean, the library is thousands and thousands of fights, hours. There's so many. I mean, all the Pacquiao fights, all my fights. I mean, my gosh, there's so many. Me and Vargas, me and Shane Mosley, me and I Corte, there's so many. But what I'm actually thinking now is that the content that we're gonna give El Rey, the viewing audience, is gonna be different than what's ever been out there before. I mean, we're gonna give you different content that you're gonna be able to enjoy the fight. You're gonna see the fight from a different perspective, um and I can't wait. I literally can't wait because it's never been done before.
That's amazing. There is actually another really big fight coming up this weekend that you're a part of. Can you give us a little preview of what you are expecting to see this weekend?
Okay, so Cinco de Mayo weekend is huge for boxing. I mean, and huge for us drinkers. Imagine a fight and getting together with your family, with your friends at home, pay-per-view. It all started probably when I was fighting. Cinco de Mayo and Julio Cesar Chavez, when we were both fighting. We decided, let's make this a big holiday. Let's make it a big boxing festivity. So this weekend, for the first time in many years, we're gonna have two Mexicans in the ring. Two Mexicans in the ring who are at the highest level. Jaime Munguia, who's like 46-0, Canelo Alvarez, who's the king of boxing, Mexican boxing. Are we gonna see the passing of the torch? Are we gonna see the young lion, just beat the reigning champion supreme? I mean, it's a lot at stake this weekend, but all in all, I don't care like where you're from, what culture, whatever, you can enjoy a Cinco de Mayo weekend with a great fight.
How did the fight actually get made? Because I think a lot of people are curious because we know that there's things are not quite happy all the time with you and Canelo. So how did this fight come about?
So this was, I'll give you an insight. This is actually an exclusive.
Ooh.
So one thing about Canelo is that if you talk smack, right, about him, oh yeah, you're gonna get beat, this, that. He won't give you the fight. Like he'll say, forget you, I'm not gonna fight you. You're talking smack about me. But if you're politely about it, if you're like, okay, you know what, Canelo's the greatest, it would be an honor. So the fact that me and Canelo have beef, and I have a fighter in Munguia that wants to fight him. Okay, how do I strategize here? How do I maneuver? So yeah, I had to bite my tongue and say nice things about Canelo, and praise him and this and that, and sure enough, it worked, and he picked them. So I think Cinco de Mayo weekend. Look, Munguia hit the lottery, which I'm very, very happy for, because he'll make a lot of money and he'll have a chance to prove his skill, to hopefully grab that torch from Canelo, and just continue to raise it up proudly for the Mexicans. So yeah, it's exciting times, and I'm glad that it's two Mexicans in the ring, because it hasn't happened in such a long time. So yeah, we're pretty proud of that, but it took a lot of skill in my part.
Well, we're glad that it happened. We're excited
Yeah,
for it. And
thank
by
you.
we, I mean everybody on earth that's watching this fight
Sure.
is going to be really excited. And you're coming off another really big win with Ryan Garcia. I'm wondering, have you spoken to him lately? Do you know kind of what the plan for him is? I know it's fight just ended, but everybody wants
Yeah.
to know, when can we see him again?
Yeah, I mean, look, Ryan Garcia right now is on his victory tour. He's promoting his single, "I'm Blessed," which is it's brilliant. I mean, he's a brilliant marketer. I love the guy. Um, I'm gonna sit down with him. Yeah, once the dust settles after this week. I'm very busy this week with Canelo Munguia, but after this week, I'll sit down with him, and yeah, we'll strategize, and we'll see when he wants to fight again. But most likely, a big date would be September, for Ryan Garcia. Again, the passing of the torch. Ryan Garcia being the next champion of the world, the next Mexican American, champion to carry the torch. So there's a lot of yeah, strategy that has to take place, and I have to sit down with his team, or with him in particular, and just map it out, and we'll see who he wants to fight next. But I'll tell you one thing: the next opponent that he'll choose, is going to be another champion, another worthy champion that has all the tools, to even beat him. So, and that's who Ryan is. Ryan's a fighter who wants to take on the very best, and I have to admire that, because it doesn't happen very often in boxing.
There was some big boxing news today with the rule set being announced for the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. I'm
Ah,
just curious
yeah.
what your reaction was to that, if you've heard what they are.
Tyson, move your head. Just move. Don't get hit, please. I love Mike Tyson, and now that there's no headgear, Jake Paul, I guess he gained a lot of muscle lately. He's gonna be strong up there, so just be careful, Tyson. But then again, Mike Tyson landing one punch, he can end it all in one round. So I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I think until it lasts. I'm not sure how many rounds it is. I believe 8 or 10 rounds, but I do have to worry about Tyson and his conditioning, because I mean, Tyson and myself are no spring chickens anymore. So we have to be careful with these young fighters out there who want to take off our heads. Yeah, I wish them all the best. They'll make a lot of money. They're attracting a whole new audience, more eyeballs to the sport. So yeah, more power to them.
Back to Ryan Garcia, Sean O'Malley in the UFC really wants to fight. Is
Yeah,
there any interest with you? Would you be willing to co-promote with Dana White? Because I know there's not a great feelings there either, but you saw
yeah.
it happen, so could it happen there?
Look, I mean, I think it could happen. Why not? If it's going to be a huge event, I can leave my ego at home and deal with Dana White. I have no problem whatsoever. But I just don't think that Dana White would want to do it. I think that Dana White knows that O'Malley will just get outclassed. That's the bottom line. I mean, if it was in the cage, maybe it would be a whole different story, because O'Malley's he's an MMA fighter, and Ryan Garcia is a boxer. There's a huge advantage there for Ryan. So I think Dana White has learned his lesson. Watching the Ngannou fights and watching, MMA fighters trying to box and getting beat up. Yeah, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not. It's a whole different sport, boxing and MMA. So I think that, yeah, if Dana ever wants to sit down and talk and maybe make something happen, I'm more than happy to do it.
Awesome. Last question for me. Conor McGregor just announced, I think Saturday, that who's here?
Oh, look at my little baby. Hi, Babas.
Oh,
Hi, Babas.
oh,
Hi,
hi.
Babas.
Well, Conor
This is
McGregor,
little Vita.
hi.
Hey, yeah.
I've got cats somewhere.
Little Vita. She's a little nuggy.
Cute. Uh, Conor announced that he has become part owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting, BKFC. Is there any interest in maybe potentially partnering with him for something? Maybe not as the fighter, but in a promotion type
Yeah,
realm.
whatever makes sense for the sport of boxing. I mean, I'm a huge advocate of boxing. I love boxing. This is the sport that gave me everything. I'm gonna be a promoter till the end of time. If I can do anything to help the sport, yeah, I would be more than happy to talk to anybody. I mean, Conor McGregor is now a businessman, which I love and admire because because he comes from the fight game as well. And so, yeah, if there's a chance of talking to him, I've spoken to him many times, but not about business. It would be great. It would be great to sit down with him and maybe map something out, if it makes sense. But yeah, more power to him. I admire of what he's doing. I just want to see him in the ring again.
Me too. Well, I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you this weekend at the fights.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a great week.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.